Hello everybody. I'm using a tinted moisturizer by Wet n Wild. It's called Suntan. It has an SPF of 15 and I wear this every day and I just really rub it in on my face, my neck, and my upper chest area. And it's a great tinted moisturizer for sensitive skin and it really gives you pretty good coverage. I really like it. And here I'm using Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage in SC3. It's a concealer, so I'm taking the more orange color and I'm working it in where all the purple under eye circles are, bags, covering the eyelids as well because I have a lot of redness and purple on my eyelids going down the marionette lines right here, covering the redness under the nose, and then also I have redness on my chin, and then I have some dark patches around the mouth and discolorations, and then here on the rosacea, on the redness on the cheeks, I dot the orange and it really does a great job counteracting the purple color and the red veins, and then I go ahead and blend it out on the cheekbone just so you don't get raccoon eye effect. Here I'm taking a little more concealer and I'm just dotting it down on any moles or little dark spots that are all over my chest and my neck because they don't really look very good in pictures, and when you go ahead and conceal them, it really makes you look so much younger and fresher without them. So here I'm going to take the lighter color and I'm just going to go and work it in the deepest purple parts under my eye. Now that the other color is kind of soaked in, I'm just going back over that. So here, wait about 10 minutes, just walk away and really let it soak in and dry. It'll look completely different. And then just go back and buff it in with your fingers. Now I'm taking the NARS Punjab in medium 1. It's a foundation powder and I'm just rubbing in, again, the product into my eyes so it's smooth and then going over it with the foundation powder. It's got a full coverage. Next, I'm using the MAC eyebrow pencil in Lingering. I'm going to fill in and straighten out my eyebrows. I'm really going to build in the arch or any spots where it's missing some hairs. I'm going up right here with little tiny strokes. This eyebrow pencil is my absolute favorite. It lasts all day. It's a waterproof. And so I'm just really drawing them in and then go to the arch and then I'm drawing out the line. I'm kind of missing a lot of eyebrow right there. So I take it out a bit right here. Measuring right here, that's where it should go at the angle from your nose, and then that's how far your eyebrow should extend. So I'm filling that in. Measuring the inside, it shouldn't go in further than that. Taking a little angle brush and the NYX contour palette with a light shade of the brown. And I'm just now filling in over that. It just softens the pencil, kind of seals it, locks it in. Just very light strokes going over that. Next, I'm taking an eyebrow brush and I'm just going to gently brush it. It just really softens everything together and blends any kind of little lines or anything like that, just for a very soft and natural look. So I'm back to the NYX contour palette again, and I'm just taking, it's a peach color, it's got a slight shimmer, but it's almost matte, just very tiny shimmer, and I'm just putting it on my whole lid, under the eye, almost like an eyeshadow base basically. It just lightens and brightens the whole area and it nearly matches my skin tone exactly. So here is Estee Lauder bronzer, and I'm just going to take this little angle brush, get a little bit of the bronzer, and I'm going to use this as a contour on my cheekbones. So I squish it together and just go ahead and put it right under the cheekbone just to cut them in, and it lifts the whole area quite a bit, just right under the bone. You can always suck in your lips a little bit, you know, to get exactly where you should put it. So it's just right underneath. And then just kind of blend it in up the bone just a little bit. Okay, next I'm going to take some more of the bronzer with the pinched narrow brush, go along the jawline, and this will give you that nice tight toned look under your jawline, and it'll cover up any kind of little puffiness that you might have under there. I go down the neck and I really fill in any kind of lines or those turkey rings that are lighter in color. If you work some of this bronzer into them and do your whole neck, bronze all the way down, it will hide all of those little imperfections. And then I go ahead and take it down. I have actually some discoloration on my chest from the sun hitting it. So I blend it together with that bronzer and then put a little bit on the forehead. I have a smaller forehead, so I don't do much there. Next, I'm going to line my lips with the NYX or NYX lip liner in burgundy SPL 803. You want to do it on a very dry lip. You don't want to have any kind of oil or chapstick or lip balm on your lip. You really want to work that lip liner onto your lip as a lipstick basically, or a lip stain. And so I actually have crooked lips on the upper lip, so I straighten them out, and I do kind of take a long time here because I'm trying to match them up, and then I fill in the whole lip area. And that way, if you eat or you have any lip gloss or anything like that, or lipstick that wears off, your whole lip will be a uniform color. So next I'm going to add blush. I have my little blush brush and my blush palette. I'm going to take this light, kind of an apricot peach shade out of it and just add it to the apples of my cheeks. And so try to make a match. And then here I made a mistake. I went a little too high, so I'm adding a little bit of foundation powder back on the top and just blend them down a bit. So I'm cleaning my brush a little bit, the powder angle brush actually, and that is yellow contour powder out of the highlight and contour palette from NYX. So it's a pure yellow powder, and I really work that in on those purple dark circles because it really does a great job hiding the purple and highlighting and lifting the under eye area. So I'm just gently dabbing it on, highlighting the cheekbone with that, blending it all the way down. A little bit in the forehead, right in the very middle. I have some little fine lines and wrinkles right there, and so it hides them pretty well. And on my red chin, I put it to help counterbalance the red, and then on that little spot around my mouth and darkness that I have. So again, just really working that in. Here I'm going back to the palette with a smaller brush this time, with picking up the yellow powder, and I'm really working it into these dark circles. I have such purple puffy eyes on this day that I shot this makeup video, so I'm just really going back and working it in any little fine lines and wrinkles, spreading it out because it lifts the whole area. Actually, just you can't just do the circle, it'll give you raccoon eyes. You have to spread it out. Here I'm going down the upper lip, all the redness under the nose. I'm going to take it and go down the center of the nose. It really highlights your very center of your nose. Going down these marionette lines, filling them in really helps to hide them completely on any little dark spots or discolorations. And then here I'm adding Craving Lipstick by MAC. And then next I am going to take this eyeliner pen here. It's the Maybelline Master Precise in black, and it's the fine pointed one, and I'm just working it in along the lash line. I'm doing a thin line in the very beginning, and I also, with the other finger, I stretch the skin out and lift the eye on the direction I basically want it to go, and I do the other side. So I just go along the whole lash line. I don't add the wing until both sides are done and even. So then I go ahead, stretch out the eye again, and I'm creating a wing here. And I actually do this first before the eyeshadow because I like to have it drawn in to see where the eyeshadow goes basically. So here I am, I'm just really taking that fine little point out, building that line, stretching the skin up. And then I do take it underneath a little bit when it's kind of dry, when I've already put it on. I just gently put a tiny little thin line under the lash line, but not the whole eye, just kind of halfway. Okay, so here, this is MAC Smolder, my absolute favorite inner eye waterline pencil. Next, I'm putting on eyeshadow. I actually use the matte shades out of this NYX highlight and contour palette. I use the dark brown shade to build in the dark brown color on my whole eyelid. I use the folded tissue under the eye. You can also use shadow shields. And so I'm covering the whole lid and working it into the crease and just covering the whole area. My eyes are very puffy on this day, and so that dark shade really hides all the puffiness. And then I bring it up just like, again, maybe a millimeter or two right above the crease to create a look of a crease. Actually, I meant to say above the hood, so it creates the look of a crease. So now I'm taking this fine detail brush and I'm picking up some more of the black eyeshadow, and I'm going to work this in to the crease just to create some more depth on the hood that I have. I'm getting a new tissue paper and just really working it in into the outer V of the eye. Again, it's just going to really define the eye. It's going to create the look of depth. It's going to hide that puffiness on top of the eye and cut the crease in. And I'm going to take it just barely a hair up, like a millimeter or two above the actual crease on the hood to hide the fact I have a hood. I made a mistake, so just, take a tissue and remove it. And then I'm taking a concealer brush here because it has a soft but thinner, sharper brush. And I'm just going to go over and define the whole area again. I'm going to go over the eyeliner underneath and just soften the whole look. And it also seals in the eyeliner a little bit better when you cover it with just a little bit of powder eyeshadow. And it creates a soft, smudgy line. It covers any imperfections. I'm going in again and just defining the crease all along the whole thing. I'm picking up a little bit more here. So due to the fact I have hooded eyes, I do need to spend a little extra attention building out that V. So now I'm going to go ahead with the larger brush and go under the eyebrows, and that lifts the whole area. And I'm also blending along the line between the light eyeshadow and the dark eyeshadow, just slightly to soften the edges and make it look softer and more natural. So next I'm taking the NARS eyeshadow in the color Ondine, which is a really nice taupe color, and it's a shimmer. And I'm just putting a little bit over in the center of my eyelids just for a tiny bit of shimmer. I don't recommend any shimmer eyeshadow at all, but just a little bit in the center just creates a beautiful sparkle basically without messing up your eyeshadow. So I curled my lashes. Now I'm applying 2 coats of Maybelline Great Lash waterproof mascara on the upper and the lower lashes. Hold your eyes a little bit squinty so they don't get everywhere. Take a tissue, I dab underneath to lift up any blobbies. I take trimmers and I sharpen the top of my eyebrows, brushing up. Then I take the MAC Smolder pencil on the waterline. Then I'm grabbing a little bit of the yellow shade. I'm going back underneath just to highlight any areas that might have received some eyeshadow that might have sprinkled down there a little bit like that. So I'm just really working that in under the eyes to really make them pop, really cover those purple circles, and really just layering it in, sharpening the line underneath a little bit and going down the marionette line, just feathering out just a little bit to blend, blend, blend. So now I'm blending with the angle brush and I'm taking that yellow powder again and I'm just blending, blending and highlighting the whole area and just really working that in. So now I'm pretty much done with the makeup, so I'm just checking in natural light up against the window to see how it looks and blending everything so it's very smooth. Any kind of lines or product that might be a little uneven, just really smoothing it in. So pretty much finishing blending. It looks pretty good to me. So now moving on to eyelashes, fake eyelashes with the Duo Glue, and I'm using the Ardell lashes. So just take the little strip and put a little bit of glue on the back of my hand with a Q-tip and apply a little line to the eyelash. And then I just go ahead and pop them on. Also wait 60 seconds after you've applied the glue to the lashes before you put them on. You don't want to put them on until the glue has set for 60 seconds. So I take a little end of a brush and I just kind of keep working them in until they're completely dry. Now I'm going to shade my nose, so I'm back to that Estee Lauder bronzer powder. I'm just going to do a dry contour for the makeup on this day, basically. I do have other contours that are liquid, but for this one, I'm just doing the dry. So I took a smaller little brush, and I have a very crooked nose, actually. I have some bumps. I had surgery for a deviated septum way back when, and there's all kinds of scar tissue that has now accumulated, putting all these bumps. So it's actually very difficult for me to figure out where the straight line should be. And the end of the nose used to be very sharp, and now it's kind of got a little bit bulby at the end. So I just take the contour powder actually and kind of draw in the straightest line I can get. So taking a little more yellow powder, going back under my eyes, going down the center of my nose. Now just kind of blending it with the finger a little bit and on the end of the nose. And then here, I actually go back after I've put the fake lashes on and take the liquid eyeliner again and just go over the top of them, straighten out the line, maybe make it a little bit thicker, blend it in, draw it out. I already have the line drawn from before, so I just go over it now on top. And the reason, again, I don't do it last is because it just makes it easier for me to add the eyeshadow. I actually have to draw in again where the creases due to the hood. So just adding a little bit more of the NARS powder now, going in and blending all the contouring I did and just making sure it's very, very even. And this is the NARS Punjab foundation powder. I'm taking my finger over the wrinkles on my forehead and underneath my eyes because it actually is better with your fingers. There's like slight oil. Taking a tiny bit of mascara and just pressing it at the roots to kind of blend my own eyelashes in with the fake lashes. Now I'm taking a lip gloss by MAC Studio, and it's a fuchsia color. I really don't know what color it is. I'm taking a Q-tip and I'm just cleaning up under the eye, maybe removing a little of the black that might have gone too low. And then here is the palette. I'm taking the brighter pink shade, actually like a fuchsia, and just putting a little bit on top of the brow bone, right above the crease. I think it looks really pretty when you have pink blush on and your pink lipstick to have just a little bit of pink on the eyes. And so just checking everything, making sure it's straight, basically. Back to the yellow powder again. Can't have enough yellow powder under the eyes. I'm always going back and adding more yellow powder, more yellow powder. So here, adding a little in the inner corners of my eyes, like by my nose. It tends to be a little purple there. So now just going back in again with a little more of the brown. I'm basically done, but I just decided, oh, I'm going to add a little bit more to my eyebrows. I'm taking white now, like the white shimmer shade, and just putting a teeny, teeny line right under the eyebrows. It just gives you a brow lift, basically. It makes your eyes more open and your eyebrows look higher. I'm putting a tiny little bit of the white. So checking in the natural light again, just making sure everything's even. It looks pretty good. That yellow has really hidden my puffy purple bags under my eyes. You can barely see them right now. And so I think it looks great. I'm really happy.